meeting to order. So first we'll review the regular business meeting and public hearing agenda items. Invocation, we should have Pastor Rick Kirkland with Stone Mountain Baptist Association here tonight.
This is a very tall chair.
Pledge, do we have somebody that'll volunteer to lead us in the pledge? Dave will do it.
Who can do it the slowest?
I pledge. I can do it.
The girl who
I
does
nominated
announcements
Dave and
sounds
he's
familiar.
Or I can do the crazy lady version.
And then under ceremonial matters, we've got the proclamation for Charles Coates, the Senior Center Volunteer of the Year Award. The
C will not,
C was postponed to January 27th.
Mike Simone will be here on the 27th.
And then we'll have one honoring Alex Lackan, who owns the Cottage Adult Day Service. And then the Snellville Tourism and Trade Festival of Trees winner. We have the minutes, just a planning commission report. Under public hearing, we have the first reading for Lois S. Ford. Anyone have any questions on that? This is one, just if you haven't looked at it yet, it's Scenic Drive, which is down by the first Chick-fil-A,
Chick-fil-A,
178. That one was, that street, did you hear that, all that description? That street years ago was rezoned to be office professional from residential, and it never, to be like a business park, and it never took over. So this person's coming to get rezoned back to residential.
And the problem is if they're zoned O&I, they have, if they want to sell the house, they have
They can't get them.
financing issues or something else. So we went through a bunch, I'm not sure where, but we went through a bunch of different possibilities, and the easiest thing is they want to get it rezoned. And did we waive the fee on that? And we waived the fee on the rezoning.
She has a buyer, right?
Yeah, she's
That's what
basically,
the
can't get the
Planning
contract
commission,
financed
planning
because
department.
the residential use is a grandfathered use because it has a commercial zoning, so she can live there as long as she wants. But there's the potential if she stopped living there for 18 months, it would lose its grandfathering provision. Thus, a bank isn't gonna back a mortgage where they can lose their asset. So when we change it back to residential, they can live and sell as much as they want, which is, what we're trying to do.
Okay, and then we have the first reading on the town center. Hopefully no explanation is needed there.
I think
And
we've
we're
had.
gonna waive that.
I'm not really sure about
Under new business, we have item A, the election of the mayor pro tem, which Melissa just informed me, we've just, since I've been on council, have done it every year. And she said that it's really not in the code, but it has to be done every year, but we have it on the agenda, so
So might as well do it.
may as well do it. So we'll need a motion and a second on that. Item B, we've got the tourism and trade contract, 2020. And then we need to add an item C. We have, the county attorneys have approved the updated IGA with the county for the library building. We separated, do you want to explain?
Yeah, no, I have a copy.
Got copies of it?
Yeah.
But we need to go ahead and add this to the agenda so we can get it
Okay.
approved for the
If
county.
we could, we just found out about it, the end of last week after the agenda went out.
I saw that in the corner of my eye.
And this is, you all have already had approved initially the previous intergovernmental agreement. However, it took into, oh, we do know?
Oh, you're going, okay.
Is there, there's two there? Okay.
In the original one, as you all recall, we were having, our joint building with the county was gonna be a library and a market together in one building. And that changed from the library and the market to where the market is going to be our own building. and the library is going to be a shared space with an educational space, and then the parking lot. Now, initially, we had drafted it where we would share in owning the property together, but the county has indicated that they need to own the dirt under it. They'll still be sharing in the costs, and they'll be entering into a 50-year lease, which is the longest that you can under an intergovernmental agreement, with an automatic renewal of another 50 years for the educational space. But they would, in fact, we would be giving them the dirt that the building is built on. So those are really the only changes from what was previously approved in the last addendum to the IGA.
He didn't get the word.
Yeah, I wonder if it really is postponed, Mike Sabaz out there. No, he did, yeah, he knew. Oh,
He was coming.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So just, do anyone have any questions or anything about the nature of the agreement? But basically, they're going to be paying for all of the build-out of the library, as well as their portion of parking spaces and of the deck that they will be
128
using.
spaces,
So,
which is about 20%, 17% of the cost of the deck.
and they indicate that's how, with the exception of Lilburn. Lilburn is a little different bird because it's actually in their city hall, but that's how they've insisted on doing most of their other recent projects.
So what you need is for us to authorize you to sign
That's right.
the,
Yeah, now did we
Yeah.
mention, because it says addendum, or did we just say is IGA sufficient?
Well, technically it is an addendum to the original
Okay.
intergovernmental agreement. So, because it changes those things.
So that will be added as new business item C. So we'll need that item added as part of the approval of the agenda. And then that is it for regular business. Any correspondence?
No, ma'am.
I did want to forgot to bring it up at the retreat. The county, the chairman's State of the County address, I know the teachers probably won't be able to do it, is February the...
Twelfth.
what was
February
it?
the 12th at noon, 11:30.
Do we have a table?
No, we won't do a table, but if you're interested in going, let Butch or Melissa know this week so that they can get tickets. We just never seem to fill a table.
Okay.
We buy a table and then we wind up with a couple seats open and it's a waste of money.
And what about the chamber there?
And the chamber annual dinner for
January
Solange and
31st.
January 31st. That's, the Gwinnett Chamber does a prom, essentially.
a prom.
Great food.
We call it the Gwinnett County Prom. But it is a really great networking opportunity to get to see people from across the county. A lot of business owners, a lot of people involved at the chamber, political people.
So are we gonna get a room to party afterwards?
Well, they have an after party.
Well, I mean, if
We
it's
don't even
prom,
need to
I,
get a
you
room.
know,
I've never made it to one of those.
I haven't either. I thought, this is my chance.
It's at 6 p.m. on the 31st,
6 p.m.
and there's no speaker. You just go and everybody pats themselves on the back, so.
Awesome.
Well, there are awards.
Yes, there are awards.
It's awards you gotta sit through, but
That's the back patting. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Polite
Yes.
applause.
So you'll be there, Butch, right?
Are you going, or are you gonna be on vacation?
I made sure I'm on vacation.
You never quit, do you?
Never.
Okay,
What did we
city
say about a
attorneys?
dead horse?
We're not in the retreat anymore, so you're under the gun.
And nothing else for you.
Very
City attorney's
short
report.
executive
Exec session.
session.
Anybody else have anything else?
January 23rd, Dorothy Jarrett would like us to be at the dedication of the new basketball court in the gym. Lewis Williams and the team are coming. And we need to be there at about 9:30 in the morning. Like 9:30 a.m. to about, she said 10:45. She actually spoke to Kelly in a little more detail.
Is it the Lou Williams Court?
Probably, I guess that's, yeah.
Only the best 6 man.
You should all come. Who can make it. I'll be there already, of course.
Will you really?
As you will. Somebody's gonna have to cover our classes.
Oh, darn.
Or I'll bring them.
Well, no, you can just wander off and leave the kids.
Yeah, yeah. 9:30, oh, ninth graders.
January 23rd, correct?
January 23rd. It starts at 10, so it will be on time because the team is flying in and out for their next game, so.
Is the whole team gonna be
Special,
there?
apparently.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know if I'll be back in town, but I'll attempt to make it.
We'll save you a spot.
I know everyone's gonna be looking for
You
me.
can cover you can cover the kids in E202 while I go down.
Oh,
No, the police aren't gonna be there, so nobody will be looking for you.
What, Chief's not invited?
Well, yeah.
Greg and Chief, they wanna be
Everybody is.
there.
January
The city's
23rd,
invited.
9:30,
Everybody's invited.
So
yes.
10:45.
From what I understood from my 2-minute phone call there.
not 10:47 or 10:43,
I
but
think she's
10:45.
10,
I think she wants us out before the lunch period. Chaos.
it's gonna be
Real
chaotic
nice.
with the kids.
Lunch
being
period
used.
started at 10:43.
Lunch ladies are in charge.
Wait, you mean having Hawks there will mess up the
It might.
The lunch crowd?
It might distract them.
might? Like no one will notice them?
Yeah, because they're so short.
Yeah.
Hard to see them.
Okay, anything else? Then with that,
Well, are we
during.
gonna do the,
Are we gonna do this?
Yeah, maybe we
Want to do this real quick?
Oh, yeah, those projects.
Maybe we should do
There are two parts to
maybe we
the
should do the work
update today.
session stuff.
You got a copy of the community work program. This is basically what came out of the comp plan, and it's just that, it's a work program with an awful lot of items in there divided into 5 topic groups. Land use, transportation, housing, economic development, and quality of life. So what I'm going to do is expand this list. I've already added work program topic to the items that were on there before, but what I'm gonna do, we just got our notes to review from Gordon. So I'm gonna take the retreat discussion items and the community work program, at least the first year or two, I'm not gonna go out much farther than that, and come up with a new project list. And they'll be under one of those 5 categories, and we'll start giving an update on those, at least, at least until I get some input from you guys on what the new list looks like. Barbara had wanted to make sure, which is a great idea, that this thing does not just sit on the shelf and gather dust. That, we concentrate on it, we work on it, and we let the public know the progress that we've made. So, that's why you've got that little short document there, and, you'll notice, next time, a lot of, projects on there will be on your project update. Just to hit the ones that are on there now real fast, Town Center Finance and Property. We had a productive roadway meeting with Gwinnett DOT last week, wasn't it, Eric? Where they bought into, I guess, 99% of our suggestions. They did let us know that one of our main needs, the traffic signal at 124 in Wisteria, the end of Wisteria, they got some pushback from GDOT about how that intersection lines up with Harbor Oaks. So we've got some work to do there on that intersection. But Tom Seaver with the DOT will help us. We're going to continue to follow up with him and our traffic
If
folks
they
on
want to
that.
align, is that the
Wait,
issue?
wouldn't it be easier to just make a Harbor Oaks right in, right out? on that end?
You know, there's a lot of options. I'm just saying that initially, and you have to realize that with the widening project that GDOT is considering there, we don't know exactly how much of the property they're gonna need from that corner. Property, daycare, or, is that daycare still open?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
it
opened.
is.
Yeah, we just had a
It
grand
just
opening.
reopened.
Okay. Is it still a 24-hour daycare?
No, it's
No.
different. These are real daycare people.
Okay.
Not day
Well-
and night, right?
Well, no, the first group was kind of secret.
We're gonna try to coordinate with everybody
These
and,
people are legitimate.
and include that, because that's a major need of ours. Plan and design work, the IGA tonight, that Chuck and Tony have been working on with the county, that's a big plus. We'll get the county back involved in library design, and we'll be going full steam ahead, shooting for the June, early summer groundbreaking. City marketing,
Just to add to that, we do hope to get a next revision of the library building back in the next couple of weeks, as well as a first view at what the landscape architecture and site plan details will start to be, the spaces between the buildings.
so there should be an update from Smallwood.
Yeah, in the next couple of weeks, I would say in the next
Okay.
2 weeks.
City marketing, we had a meeting this morning with Representative Gwinnett Magazine for their economic development issue. We're working on a one-page ad there. I think Barbara, you and Eric had your photographs
made
taken.
today.
Yeah, so it's,
Had a photo shoot.
we've avoided that in the past years. We've just saved money, kind of bided our time until we had something to really put out. And so that's something that Brian's working on now. So it'll be a nice addition to the whatever words they have to say in the regular update. So the UDO. I think we're ready to set a separate work session date sometime early in February. You can wait to the January 27th meeting to discuss it, or you could kind of give us a couple dates now. What would you rather us do?
Do y'all wanna look for dates?
Sure.
Sure.
You said I had everything on my phone.
Could we do it? Do you think Caleb could do it that first week in January? Third?
Not January.
February? February?
He's usually pretty flexible if we give him
Yeah,
enough time.
yeah. I
So
think he's done with all his vacation and everything. What's that?
No, you said January, so I
Oh, I'm
was just
sorry,
saying.
no,
is-
first week in February.
Yeah.
Is
Third
there a
through the
planning
seventh.
commission meeting on the 28th?
yes. But it's an early meeting to interview applicants. But
Do what?
this is just a short meeting to interview applicants for the openings. There's no actual cases.
Oh, okay,
We were gonna start at 6 and probably be done at 6:30.
okay. Did y'all wanna do it, is the 28th, oh, are you gone? Is that your
Yeah, he's
vacation
gone.
week that Jason?
He's gone.
Isn't that near the,
Then what about? Is that why you were sitting over here quiet,
I
chewing on
think
your
that's
pen?
it. Well, I did say the first week in February.
You did, but I
The
thought we
second
could
time I
get
got
it
it
done
right.
sooner. So I've got
Village.
February 3rd, the Monday or the Tuesday. Wednesday is Gwinnett Municipal meeting. Or the Thursday. Anyone?
Doesn't matter.
Tuesday. Tuesday would be better.
Tuesday's Commerce Club during the day, just to orient you.
That's it. Tuesday.
Tuesday works?
Tuesday's fine.
Okay, so that's
Tuesday, the 4th.
4th. At what time will we,
6?
Yes.
that's good.
Good.
And this is a city council work session, or are we bringing in Board of Appeals and planning?
I think Planning and Board of Appeals should be there too.
Invited? Okay.
Well, I didn't even have to type it in, it magically showed up.
There we go.
So it's Tuesday, February 4th at 6.
Not gonna ask about food.
I think you just did. We'll have it catered just for
I'll
you.
bring my own scope.
Special.
Okay?
Roundabout construction, Roy, I had a question. Do we control truck traffic there, since it's county-maintained road?
No, the county would have to do that, but it is on the other end. It's maintained.
It is on the other end towards 124.
But tractor trailers can't make it through the roundabouts.
Okay. We just had a couple of property owners there call and say, you know, they're rolling through there, so I'll check with the county folks.
Yeah, and they'll have to adopt it, make it designated as a no-through truck route.
Yeah.
And it'll be under the GBWR, less than 36,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So box trucks will still be able to come through there, but not.
All right,
But
okay,
once the roundabout's complete, tractor trailers can't make it anyway.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, they can. They just
They
ride
shouldn't
right over.
be able to
Yeah,
make it.
that's why they go over the middle. Okay.
Is that what, they've been going over the middle?
They have.
Oh, yeah.
They did early.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It's either that or they
So-
clip
They-
the corners really bad and break all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. You know where the DLT project stands? SDS negotiations, I think we're deciding on a final proposal back to the county. Barbara's conversation with the other cities. The SPLOST program, the county has been in and audited, found no exceptions, everything looks good there. We should get our last December 2019 check sometime early in February, so we'll have our final 2019 numbers at that time. And ordinance development, there will be several items there coming up for discussion as we get into the UDO and some of the regulations that are looked at there. So that's all I've got.
Discussion of the 2020 council meeting schedule. I think there was a question on looking at the second meeting in November. A couple of years ago, we just started having that meeting, even if it was on Thanksgiving week. And it does fall on Thanksgiving week again this year. So,
Well, one of
Just
those
whether you
issues
guys
was the
wanna-
fact that there was so much going on with the phone systems and, with town center, that it was important to keep those meetings, to keep things moving along. Hopefully, next fall won't be as imminent. For me, it's easier to add it if it's needed as a specially called meeting than to wait and say, oh, we're not gonna have it.
Can we just leave it as TBD to be decided? Is that?
Melissa, can we just leave it as TBD?
That's
and-
what I've always done.
And just wait until like October to decide
And
if we
see
need it or
what-
not?
See if we need to have it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's fine with me. I think too, even back under Jerry, we had it a couple of years just because no one was going out of town. There wasn't any point in not having it necessarily, but,
What about public hearing calendar? Because that's usually a second reading.
Yeah, that's where it really
We
falls.
like to let everybody know on the front end what's going on. I know the planning commission usually cancels that meeting. So, I mean, we could push the public hearings out.
Well, with December, the fourth Monday is the 28th, so we probably won't be canceling that one because of Christmas. So if it won't give us 2 dead months in a row if we don't have the one in Thanksgiving. That's always been the big issue, is if you miss the public hearing in November and then because
There's
of
not
Christmas,
one.
you miss it in December, you're
We
dead
can
for.
always accommodate too with, like shifting the first and second readings
Yeah.
around too. It's
But-
not as big a deal as it is to just let them, when we hand them the calendar, for them to understand, and if people know, it's usually fine. It's kind of slows down right there anyway.
Hopefully Hopefully it'll be busy and we'll have to have it.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna have big plans for Thanksgiving next year, so you're not gonna step on my toes either way.
Regardless of my plans, I'll be here, so. Okay, so we'll just leave that for right now to be determined, and then,
Yeah, that's not a vacation day, is it?
He didn't even hear you.
What did I miss? Let me guess.
Wow.
But, so we're on the schedule for both,
no, right now, the second November meeting says
Okay.
so
to
the
be
23rd
determined.
is to be determined, and the 28th of December is a set meeting.
So change it, I have it as TBD,
The second meeting in December is TBD too.
that's what I have, it's up to y'all.
And
what
again-
you want to do. Well, is there any harm in leaving them as TBD at this point and then
Well,
deciding
other
later?
than
Other than
for people
planning.
trying to figure out.
For first and
zoning
second
issues.
readings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of vacations, and usually people are out of town or the holidays,
What was that?
so. I should have just said holidays, not vacations. So,
Well, people have to make sure they get their vacation days in before the end of the year, so
Oh,
if we have a council meeting in the middle of that, then it just
I
puts
know a guy
some
who
It's
fat
on a
in there.
Friday. So we're just off Thursday and Friday, right?
What's this
Back on Monday.
vacation thing?
yeah, the agenda setting will
wouldn't
be a
know.
lot shorter for
Oh,
those
yeah.
days. That's what he
You don't
just,
spend
because
money on the
Christmas.
house, it's
Yeah.
broken.
Which is no big deal, but the week before,
I
we
thought
only
life
work
was a
3 days.
Yeah,
It's never a busy time of year, so if y'all wanna
Every
keep
day's,
it, it's fine.
You know,
And-
living
Yeah.
dreams.
and
that one's usually not necessary.
Well, and we could always
November is
cancel it if there's no
November's big.
public
Well, and-
hearing or
yeah.
anything else coming up.
It's not, well, yeah, because they're technically not canceled right now.
Right.
You can still hold them, they're not canceled, so, they're, you know,
Okay, and so the deal on the July one is if I go on the cruise to Russia, we can't have a meeting, but if I stay home, we can, right?
So July,
Yeah, July 13th. If he's not here, you don't have a quorum.
Ooh, I'm so important. I'll stay here.
so who's all gone? You are, you
We
are.
Yeah.
That's two. Oh, and if you're gone, we don't have a quorum.
Right.
No pressure, I mean, but let us know.
I pretty much have decided not to go, but I just wanted to make sure because some people pressure me about it. No one at this table.
So no one else pressure Todd about going on a cruise because he's staying to maintain a quorum.
We're so
Oh, that's the
grateful.
annual 2-week vacation that y'all
Be
take.
strong.
I get
No,
it.
no,
I get it.
that's every other year.
Yeah,
Every other
And I'm
year.
surprised you're not
That's-
going.
that is
And
really,
really, it's work
that
because
is,
they go with the Gwinnett County delegation.
We do, we are.
I feel so left out,
God,
We
double
learned- we
standard.
learned well.
Whoa.
Spend the $6,000 and go.
and I won't go to the bathroom. It's a problem.
Well, you will. You'll just have to step over the toilet to get into the shower.
So you're saying duct tape is not a long-term
Oh,
solution?
I meant on the cruise.
Okay, before we digress too much further,
It's too late.
okay, so now we're at the end of our work session.
Shocking.
So, during the work session of the Mayor and City Council of Snellville, Georgia, Mayor Bender announced that certain matters should be discussed in a closed session of the